All right, so I'm just a stupid dog, and I hope we don't lose some adherents because we're about to just do a takedown of Donald Trump. And, hey, Donald, big guy won the popular vote. Big guy kicked ass. Big guy, maybe Joey B could have put up a better fight, who knows, than Kamala, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, Donald got the mandate. Donald, he proved everybody wrong again. So I'm not trying to run down Donald, but I'm trying to run down Donald's denaturalization program, his war on the Mexicans and the illegals. Listen, guys, help me out here. Let me understand this. I think it's going to hurt the economy if you start shipping out the illegals because we don't got nobody to pick the lettuce. That's my stance as a stupid dog. If I was in some kind of a thing where I was in Harvard or Yale and we were debating, I'd say, guys, who's going to pick the lettuce and the radishes and the carrots and the cucumbers and the leeks? Who's going to harvest the cranberries? We use Mexicans. Who's going to work on the golf courses, Donald? Donald, you know that. Donald, this is an elitist thing. Donald will not let any of his Mexican illegal workers leave his hotels, leave his properties, leave his golf courses. Hey, Donald, the Mexicans are going to be able to work illegally in your restaurants and on your golf courses. You know what I'm saying? No, the big guy, Big Donald, big guy. It's a beautiful thing. So Donald appointed the Nazi Stephen Miller to head up denaturalization, which is a component of his war on illegals. And I mean, egg-headed, bald Stephen Miller is a effed up, dysfunctional, freaky, deaky Nazi. And I'm going to try to get Joe Rogan to admit to that someday. I'm a stupid dog, but Shane Gillis, Joe Rogan, and Kill Tony should figure out that, Stephen Miller is Goebbels incarnate. You figure that one out, boys. Don't worry about it. A naturalized citizen, okay? This is just the dog trying to educate a little bit. A naturalized citizen is a person who was born outside the United States and became a U.S. citizen after meeting certain requirements. Like he should have a job. He doesn't have a criminal record. He knows something about the history of America. He speaks decent English. All right? Anyways, Donald wants to reinterpret that 14th Amendment. That's what the 14th Amendment covers. He wants to do a thing where you could reinterpret naturalization in a program he calls denaturalization. All right? So the 14th Amendment, again, this is a thing where I'm trying to educate all the dweebnesses, the dwabnesses, all the 24-year-olds that are probably going to defriend me or sanctify me. They're going to become de-adherents because I threw up some truth in their mouths. Like I was like jacking truth up into their mouths. I sprayed a bunch of hot truth right into their mouths. It was disgusting. But anyways, just listen, boys. Don't hang up yet. Don't decertify. You can quit us after you hear this. The 14th Amendment states that all persons born on the U.S. soil are U.S. citizens. That's what George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, the founding fathers, they're like, hey, guys, we got to have some good quality people. So if you're born here, yeah, U.S. citizen. It's a camaraderie. We're all in this together. They were against the British. Then they were against the Spanish. Then they were against the Mexicans. They were against the Mexicans. And the whole thing with Texas, don't worry about it. But anyways, they're like, hey, if you're born here, you're one of us. George Washington's like, hey, little N-word. Don't worry, you were born here, you're one of us. Don't worry about it. It's all right, buddy, you and me. Don't worry. Hey, don't worry about a thing, you and me, George Washington said. Donald Trump wants to change up what George Washington said. It's okay, don't worry about it. Donald wants to deny citizenship of children who were born on American soil to illegal aliens. And this brings up a point. Donald, you're so haughty-taughty worrying about abortion. You don't want to have one single little child not get born, which, I'm a stupid dog. I don't want to see none of the puppies not get born. I want to see all the puppies get born, even if somebody has to cannibalize them. Even if somebody has to eat a couple puppies to survive, I still want to see all the puppies get born, you know what I'm saying? Out in the Serengeti, sometimes in a drought, you never know what's going to happen. But believe me, I will not be in favor of aborting them early. You never know what's going to happen. Maybe it'll rain. Maybe we'll get a fluky rain and all the puppies will be saved, so don't worry about it. But, Donald, You're going to not let the children get aborted, but then you're going to pack them off. You're going to say, hey, you were born in this country, but we're going to pack you off to some slum, some international slum, some shithole. Donald, you said all the shithole countries. Now you're going to take these children and you won't let them get aborted, then you pack them off to shithole countries. Donald, don't worry. That's so crazy, Donald. All right. But there's two things I want to bring up as a stupid dog. First thing that's really pressing is Barron Trump was born to an illegal mom on March 20th, 2006. All right? So Donald's latest 7-foot tall, Dwabness nerdo, freaky dick that looks like a carbon copy of Donald. Donald looks like he produced this child through some kind of a, whatever you say, some kind of freaky dicky science, because maybe in a Petri dish, maybe in a Petri dish, because Donald's like, I hate standing next to this kid. He's so much more handsome, so much more taller, so much more Donald-esque than me. This kid will probably be whatever you say. Maybe Barron will be the one who fights the Martians for us. You never know. Don't worry about it. But anyways, Barron was born to an illegal mom on March 20th, 2006. Melania wasn't a naturalized citizen until July 28, 2006, all right? She was not a U.S. citizen when Barron was born. But, you got the elitism clause. It's not, hey, who cares? Barron wasn't really, but whatever. All them brown-skinned Mexican babies, pack them off to who knows. Ship them off to Afghanistan. Ship them off to Duwabnikwe, all right? Don't worry about it if they ever see their moms or everything. They're going to the child labor, the child slavery, the child sexuality. Don't worry about it. Barron, we're going to send to Yale, okay? Barron wasn't born, but whatever. It's all right. And the second thing, that was the first thing. Barron will be subject to these horrifying things, but don't worry about it. The second thing is Elon Musk is a naturalized citizen, okay? Elon was a naturalized citizen with a little bit of a taint to his naturalization, okay? Elon was born in Pretoria, South Africa. Okay, Elon, beautiful. You're born in Pretoria, South Africa. He lived in Pretoria, South Africa till he was 18 years old. Then he went to Canada, lived with his mom and became a naturalized citizen of Canada. Then he moved across the border, okay? South Africa for 18 years. Then he goes and lives with his mom in Canada, becomes a naturalized citizen of Canada. Somehow he comes down and freaky deaky becomes a U.S. citizen. This is all true, boys. Look it up. You can figure it out for yourselves. Don't worry about it. All right. He moved to Canada shortly before his 18th birthday, and he became a Canadian citizen by virtue of his mom's status as a, All right. Also, it's rumored that Elon Musk lied on his naturalization application. He did a little lying, so maybe Elon, but no, don't worry about it. Elon, he's a billionaire. He's all right. Don't worry about it. It's elitism. Hey, all you Trump supporters, you Trump sycophants, all you Trump this, that, the other things, they're playing you like a bassoon. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a shit about this way, that, the way, the other thing. They're elites. You're not on their side because you're not an elite. All right? Don't worry about it. Sorry, don't worry about it. But elitism, that's the governing body. That's the governing parameter. That's the governing theorem. That's the governing, what do you say? That was your thesis, is elitism. Don't worry about it. All right, but I was watching The View, and this one woman said, hey, if Donald gets a mass deportation and he does a mass denaturalization and all these people are going to get farmed off, you don't think it's going to hurt the economy? And then she's like, hey, who's going to clean our toilets? And all the Mexicans on the panel and all the Mexicans, and it's like, what? You don't think that we do more than clean the toilets? What are you, crazy? And she was like, oh yeah, excuse me, I know you do more. You also, you're beauticians, you're the mechanics, you're the weed eaters of the hillsides, you're the people who hoe the corn rows, you're the people who raise our children. The elites, they hire the Mexicans to clean their pools, trim their hedges, mow their lawns, fluff up their mulch, clean their toilets, raise their children. If you're getting rid of all the illegals, who's going to be your au pair? Who's going to be your au pair? It's just a sticky, thorny issue. I'm a stupid dog. I'm not trying to burst bubbles. I'm just bursting bubbles. I'm not trying to burst bubbles. This is just reality. You can look this shit up for yourself. It's all true. And believe me, I'm like, who's going to clean the fucking toilets? You know what I'm saying? I got a bunch of shit stains on my side of my toilet bowl. I have to hire a fucking Mexican. Who's going to cook my Mexican food at the Mexican restaurant? I go to a Mexican restaurant, I get a tall glass of Mexican beer and a seafood salad. It's delicious. Who's going to work on the golf courses, Donald? Donald, don't F this up, Donald. Listen, I'm telling you, Donald. Donald, think about, Donald, who's going to get our lettuce harvested, our radishes, our cucumbers, our carrots? Donald, who's going to bring us our kumquats? Donald, who's going to bring us our kumquats?